white. Okay, your small.
So what is commercial farmers to somebody who doesn't understand the term commercial? Yeah. What do you mean about that?
Commercial farmers is mostly previously advantaged and still advantaged white farmers who supply your big retailers, who export, and who have a turnover of over 10 million a year.
Yes.
10 million and above a year. So it's mostly people who have already been in the space.
And the term commercial, what does it mean in that context?
The term commercial means that you are farming in order to sell to big retailers, in order to be able to export. Okay, you've got the capacity in terms of, for instance, if you're selling chickens, broilers, for instance, a retailer, one of the retailers would want you to supply 20,000 chickens every week, but that's a big commercial farmer that can be able to do that. But a small farmer and a subsistence farmer won't be able to do that.
And I like what you just said. You said mostly white.
Mostly white. We do have black commercial farmers. Very few, I must say. Hence, diversity has not yet applied to many of us.
To that space.
To that space, yes. Definitely. And looking in every space, actually.
What do you think could be the problem?
Well,
or the challenge that we're still lacking a number of other diversities in that space?
Well, it's because we've got a very good constitution, which is applauded, internationally. We've got good laws that need to address the diversity part of things. But I think we lack the political will, or we lack the enforcement, because you need to enforce these laws for them to be applicable.
Yes.
Because now you can't be talking about people living under $1 a day today in South Africa. South Africa is quite rich, but now.
You mean rich in diversity or rich in
resources?
Okay.
For everyone to participate, but it's only a few. Even in the incumbent of Black economic empowerment,
yes,
it's only a few that have managed to really see, the diversity in terms of resources.
Would it be correct to say that what I've heard from you is that we have diversity but not enough in the space?
Yes.
But then I hear you talk about the white commercial farmers.
Yeah, predominantly white commercial. You do have black commercial farmers, but probably under 5%.
So I'm thinking now, maybe before I say what I think, maybe I should come to equity. The difference,
yes,
or the similarity of equity now and diversity to what you just explained to us. Does that is the word familiar to you?
Yes, equity is when, for instance, on an entrepreneur point of view, all right, when government projects, for instance, are given out to the people, then and also you find your private institutions. When you look up there, it's not equitable enough. That means there's no balance in terms of you only see a lot of a specific race group, not another race group getting, for instance, we've got the ideas, but we don't have the equity to start and make those ideas practical, because we lack capital. So there is no equity in, through some of us. Okay. For instance, with the ideas in agriculture, that we have when we started Black Farmers Association. We thought by now, BFASA was established 5-6 years ago, but still, I'm still called a small farmer because I don't have access to equity. Okay? And then I will remain in the periphery for a very long time to come unless, I don't know, I knock very hard. These policies are there, but as I said initially, there's no enforcement. It actually, I have to know someone in that department to be able to get the finance, National Empowerment Fund, CFA, and all of those, the grants, all of those projects. It's very difficult to have access.
Now at your age now, what advice would you give that little boy of 8 years old, of 10 years old of you today, in the space that you are in today, an advice that you would give according to the things that you have seen so far? What advice would you give that little boy who wants to follow this path that you have taken?
I think it is much better to fight in numbers. BFASA is a lobby group. We speak in numbers. It's easier to make enough noise in terms of getting there. So by getting into these lobby groups as a young person today, it would take you less steps to get there than going on your own. So I would advise them to go into these lobby groups, take membership, and let us fight the fight for you. For instance, in the medical cannabis space, SAPRA only catered for those with capital, because before you can get any license, you need to have a structure. It's a medical cannabis, so it should be indoors. That structure, you will not build that structure less than 30 million, and yet no bank will finance you, no government will finance you. Okay?
I love this. I love this.
Because this is still a new space, and South Africa has got a perfect climate to grow cannabis. Okay, but now it's not easy to get into the space until you must have a structure. There's no guarantee that you'd get a license. Where are you going to get it? No investor will come through to you if you don't have something they can hold on to, because it's like a pipe dream. So we had to lobby as BFASA to SAPRA and say, listen, you've got to meet us halfway, because mostly, again, the people that will be able to raise this capital to build these structures, it's mostly white people who have got the old money, and us, it's going to be very difficult. You've got now your legacy growers, from Mphuthumi. They are not part of the cannabis, cannabis laws. It's done through those high towers, where it's only catered for those who have finance or those who have capital. Hence, as a lobby group, we asked for a pre-license. A pre-license would be 75%. Okay. Now, with 75%, I don't have the license. 25% would only be the structure. So someone will come in and invest because I've got 75% in. Okay, so it will be easy in that sense to raise funds, for that. And BFASA has got one of the structures in Atlantis, where the structure is, it was, the last time I checked, it was in the up of 38 million rands. And that policy through SAPRA has actually left the majority of the people of this country.
Wow, that's too much information.
So there's no diversity in that sense, there's no equity in that sense, and there is no inclusion, because you spoke about these three things.
Yes, tell me about inclusion. What is lacking there?
Well, if you are building, you're trying to to have diversity, you've got to include everyone, right? You've got to include all of these structures by creating spaces for those who were not in that space. That is inclusion. Hence the attempt on the black economic empowerment. But I said, well, there's a lot to be desired, in terms of that, because it only benefited a few who were very close to power. That is the truth, and we cannot hide that, anymore. Yeah, because we have, people are crying out there. We are on the ground. We voted, hoping that we will be included in the economic system. We have voted.
What did we vote for?
Well, I voted for a political party that I grew up, fighting with,
So you mean we voted we voted our government? That's what
we voted our government.
Okay, yes. So I'm just gonna take you back. Too much has been said.
Yeah, no.
Too much has been said, and I
don't ask me to speak. I will.
No. I know. Because I'm curious about the space, because it's a beautiful space.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking now, when you talk about, is that BIFASA, right?
Yeah.
Is it all over South Africa now? Or?
And BIFASA does not only say
black.
There's only exclusion of other races.
It's for everybody.
White people. There are some white people who are members of BIFASA.
Okay, and those are the. Okay, I'm not going to use the word I wanted to use now because it's going to sound very weird. Those are the ones, the white people that are there, are the previously privileged white people as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they've got an advantage in terms of access to information. So they said, look, we want to help with the information that we have.
Yes.
To try and bring diversity.
Yes.
Okay. To try and bring inclusion.
Yes.
Okay. Because through diversity is our strength.
Yes.
And equity is our fairness. Equitably, fairly.
Yes.
And also inclusion is our opportunity.
Yes.
All of us, black and white. Black includes African, Indian, colored.
In South Africa.
In Zanzibar, yes.
It's funny that you are mentioning these things, because I'm thinking to myself now, as we know...
I'm getting warm up here. I'm getting warm.
I hear that. As we understand, and you're putting everything there on the table. But how do we challenge these? Because these are the challenges you're talking about. But how do we approach these to solution?
Well, the solution was to have a lobby group. We went to sit down with SAPRA, for instance, on the medical cannabis, and then a solution came out. We got pre-licenses, hence we got a structure here in the Western Cape, a BIFASA structure here in the Western Cape, because we are solutions driven. We can't be, squealing all the way. We bringing solutions. We're bringing these things forward. Okay, all we need is a political will to take these things, because we want to work with government, because we can't do anything without government. There's these funds that are there, but they must be distributed equitably.
Yes.
All right. For instance, you've got, I see other provinces, Eastern Cape, where I come from, for instance,
Yes.
There's a lot of young people, with tractors, ladies, driving tractors, So we are slowly getting there, but it's not quick enough, because it's 30 years and we can't be having excuses. The Free State, KZN, Gauteng, you see, these shoots, okay? But now, I'm not sure about the Western Cape, if the Western Cape is... How many commercial black farmers in the Western Cape? think very hard.